So last week, the Venom trailer officially dropped, and I was so excited to finally see this after the disappointment of the first trailer. I wasn't really mad like so many people were mad about Venom not being in the trailer. Like, we got Eddie Brock, and I wouldn't be surprised if people complained that Eddie Brock has yellow hair, hashtag movie ruined. Because, down to the tiniest detail, all I'm looking for is a character done right. It doesn't really matter if he has the complete aesthetics. But besides from that, we didn't see Venom in the trailer, and I understood why. Like, either A, they were thinking, like, I had heard filming had ended 2 weeks prior, so, yeah, you really expected Venom to show up, and they completed 2 weeks of editing digital effects and whatnot in that short amount of time. Let's be real, that was never going to happen. So, yeah, I decided not to talk about that trailer because there wasn't really much anything going on in it other than just a monologue. But then I wanted to wait till the official trailer pops up, and oh my god, this is glorious! And I know people like to say this hashtag regarding Venom. I just said what people said about Pentagon Jr. from Lucha Underground. Something Venom this way comes! Yeah. So, when I had seen this, this story coming out and whatnot regarding Venom, we got this trailer opening up with let's see, how do we explain this? Venom, the trailer opens up with the reveal of this spaceship that was seen in the first trailer, or some crash site, that the group called the Life Foundation pull a canister from the wreckage, and it's a squirming alien life form. Then we see who's most likely going to be the evil business antagonist, Riz Ahmed's Dr. Cartland Drake, addressing an unseen group of people saying, "Thank you for bringing us collectively to this moment. History starts today." Yes, history does indeed start today, mostly from killing people. And then I was reading some articles about this character. In the comic books, his character was the first to surmise that the alien suit has the potential for birthing other variations. Yeah. But then we see Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock, and yeah, he has a girlfriend named Anna Weying, played by Michelle Williams. I'm pretty sure I pronounced her character name wrong. But, yeah, I looked her up, and I found out what happened to her in the comics. It does not end well, and it's partially Peter Parker's fault. Yeah. Eddie Brock says that the guy she was working for is an evil person. She responds that she doesn't work for Drake, but instead her law form is tied to him. "Sir, it's rationalization!" She asks Eddie Brock if he's going to behave himself, but he says, "I'm going to do my job." Yeah, that's not going to work out. Yeah, here's the thing. When I was studying up about Eddie Brock and the Venom character, yeah, in the comics, he's more of a jealous photographer who got really ruined in life because of certain circumstances. But, yeah, when I heard this, I was like, are they going to do that? But no, instead they make him, from what the trailer indicates, a actual good reporter who believes in getting the truth. He says that he follows people who do not want to be followed. And then he goes ahead and asks the dumbest question you could probably say to the evil corporate guy. Apparently he says, "You recruit the most vulnerable for tests that end up killing people." And yeah, Drake just orders him to get out and basically threatens his life. But when we get to this convenience store, we actually get what seemed like was an attempt at humor, saying, "I know how to hide in plain sight, but you suck." Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that was an attempt at humor. I don't know. Like, they could probably try and make that a humor scene, but yeah. She works for the Life Foundation. Jenny Slate. She doesn't say her. The character's name's not revealed, but she works for Life Foundation, and here's the thing that really confused people. throughout the entire line of Marvel comics and even in the movies that had Venom, I'll get to that in a moment, we always call them symbiotes. In the Venom movie, they call it symbiotes. And I was like, is that a mispronunciation? I'm usually used to calling them symbiotes. And in fact, a lot of people who analyze Venom call it symbiotes. Yeah. And yeah. Anyways, we see experimentations going on regarding the symbiotes or the symbiotes or whatever they're saying it. I really don't get it. And she repeatedly says this, and it just angers me like, oh god, just say symbiotes. It just sounds so somewhat robotic, like a robot is trying to say symbiotes. What is symbiotes? Please explain. So yeah, this corporate businessman and his foundation and his life foundation are doing horrible experiments, believing it's the next step in human evolution. Yes, because alien technology has always been beneficial for humanity, right? When it comes to science fiction movies about alien technology that goes horribly wrong, yeah, that really works out. Yeah. So then we see more of these creatures crawling out and attacking more people, and these experiments are getting more and more crazier. And from the director, he said that this is a loose adaptation of the Lethal Protectors comic book series. In that story, Venom leaves Spider-Man alone in New York to start a new life in San Francisco. Instead of experiencing a relaxing West Coast, however, Brock is attacked by 5 other symbiote monstrosities with the early 90s name of Scream, Rage, Riot, Lasher, and Agony. So we know what the plot's going to most likely be like. They're going to feature these victims of experiments turning into symbiotes. So, yeah. It gets kind of disturbing of how this is going. And then we see this woman curled up into a ball looking innocent and victimed until she lunges at Tom Hardy, who's trying to ask what's going on. And yeah, it gets completely crazy. And it looks like some of the symbiote has entered his bloodstream. So this is an origin story confirming it. And we see, we see this thing where he's taking medicines, he's trying to stop this weird feeling in his gut and throughout his body, like he's not feeling well, his head's hurting, and then he starts hearing a voice. And I'll get to that in a moment, but Eddie Brock says that you're not real, you're just in my head. And yeah, some guards of the Life Foundation, because every corrupt company needs to go ahead and have agents and goons, are now victims with the symbiote killing all of them. And then Tom Hardy is now wondering, why would we do that? And we see Eddie trying to escape, and we see 3 drone rockets chasing him down the streets of San Francisco. The symbiotes makes quick work of them, but that's going to create collateral damage. However, we see a scene that I actually like. Eddie Brock is trying to strike a deal with the symbiote, saying, if you're going to stay, you will only hurt bad people. Like, yeah, he's trying to he wants to use this power for good, but the symbiote just forcibly uses the Force, basically, and Force pushes him into a wall and says this:
the way I see it, we can do whatever we want. Do we have a deal?
I know I might have just said that badly, but still I had to. So, yeah, soldiers are chasing him, drones are going after him, and the trailer keeps saying embrace your inner anti-hero. And yeah, we see more pursuits, and then we see Carlton Drake asking Eddie Brock, are you willing to sacrifice the one thing you hold most dear deer, which cuts to his girlfriend, and Eddie propels his motorbike into the air and crashes and burns, but the symbiote tentacles extend from his chest, bringing him back to the bike on contact. Like, what the fuck just happened? And then, a Life Foundation henchman, we get to the end of the trailer, we see this guy being grabbed by the throat by the tentacles of the symbiote, and we see Eddie Brock transforming. And then the true face of terror happens when he asks, "What the hell are you?" And then he says,
"We are Venom."
And he just kills him. Yes. And it was like, holy crap, this is awesome. This is what Venom needed to be in Spider-Man 3. Yeah. Like, someone pointed out, like, they have mixed two designs of the Venom appearance in the comic books. Like, you got Tom McFarlane's interpretation, but the mouth and tongue belong to Eric Larson. And rows of shark teeth fighting for supremacy over another, that beautifully grotesque tongue with a mind of its own prepares to kill somebody. Yeah, and the one thing we've noticed is that we don't see the spider logo on Venom's chest. Instead, it's just white veins. And considering how buff and muscular looking, I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be very more accurate to Venom than the Spider-Man 3 movie did. But, here's the thing I'm wondering. There was a heavy debate going on regarding, is this part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Sony said, yes it is. Marvel said, no it isn't. And then some of the producers was like, yeah it is. And then they went ahead and said, well, it's not part of the MCU per se, but it's more like supplementary material. And I was like, I don't really know about that. Like, it can be its own thing, but at the same time, I don't know. Here's the thing I think. I think Marvel would approve of putting this in the MCU if it, does really well, gets good reception, and gets huge props from critics and audience and fans alike buying it, and how much money it generates. When I had heard of Venom, the teaser trailer dropping, I wrote this on Twitter. Something Venom this way comes. Besides Infinity War, the Venom movie is the most anticipating movie of the year for me. Before the MCU, Venom was the first comic character that got me interested, and I was hoping to see him portrayed in a live-action film done right. Yeah, Spider-Man was my first experience at a comic book movie, but when I was looking up stuff about the Spider mythos, I was like, no, I want to see Venom. This big, bulky, destructive force of nature. That is awesome. Please, can we get that? I want to see that. And then I said this. When I heard Venom was finally going to show up in the third Spider-Man movie by Sony, I was hyped. But when I saw it, I felt disappointed that he wasn't in there for long, and sure, Eddie Brock was in there, but not Venom. So I played the Ultimate Spider-Man game to play Venom, which was fun. But I still yearned to see him done right on the big screen after Marvel got back the rights. I was hoping that he would show up in a future Spider-Man MCU movie, but I feared that they wouldn't go all out for him in a more R-rated field after I had watched Logan and Deadpool because Disney. But then I heard Sony was going to make an R-rated Venom movie with The Dark Knight Rises as Bane and Tom Hardy, which I enjoyed despite knowing he could never fulfill the void that fans felt when Heath Ledger left in the trilogy as the Joker. When I heard about that Tom Hardy was playing Venom, I was stoked, and it's coming out this year. And more so, it may or may not be part of the MCU, still disputed, I believe. Yeah, Sony has made some bad movies, emoji movie, but with Marvel hopefully supervising and with a great actor, the Venom movie may finally grant my long-waiting moment that will make 16 years in the waiting worth it. Yeah, I was that excited. I wanted to see Venom in a movie. I love playing him in the games from time to time. He looks so awesome looking and intimidating and just badass that I wanted to see this character finally be told in a gritty, destructive direction. And when I heard this was going to be a more mature, R-rated feeling movie, I was like, yes, do it. Okay, Sony, do not screw this up. I will be pissed if you screw this up, because no one, and I mean no one, should screw up Venom. Sony already did that once, but let's hope magic strikes twice. Magic will hopefully strike for the second time, because they have big plans for this movie. Apparently, they want to make They might want to make a franchise out of this. I would love to see Venom be part of the MCU, because Marvel did say after they had reportedly bought Fox that yes, we might be interested in making R-rated movies of Marvel Cinematic Universe films, which I will be all for, but Disney still might get involved then, because they haven't really gotten involved with the politics of the Marvel's company as much as they do with Lucasfilms and Star Wars. Yeah, I'm still on that opinion. But when I was hearing that they want to make an R-rated movie or something eventually, I was like, I don't think Disney's going to let that happen, because they don't want their name to be attached to an R-rated project. I think they're still pissed that they have to go PG-13. So, yeah, the chances of Marvel Studios being given creative freedom to make an R-rated movie, yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Or Disney could make an offshoot company that will distribute the R-rated projects. But yeah, Marvel having Venom, that would be pretty awesome. And the only way I see that they could integrate, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man into the MCU, from the MCU, to tie in Venom into it, they would have to probably do a post-credit scene of Venom, after Venom, we get a similar scene like we got in Split. Like, it's a very simple but very powerful, effective scene that ties everything together. We see the Horde being talked about, people freaking out, wondering what the hell's going on, and then we see Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, I believe, saying, like, his name was Mr. Glass, when one customer was explaining about everything. Like, I could picture Tom Holland, like, probably just doing his routine kick-ass stuff, or just having a simple, nice, quiet lunch somewhere, and then the TV is talking about this creature attacking people and killing people in San Francisco, and, like, yeah, he says, and then, like, he's thinking to himself, Mr. Stark, I think we have a problem. Yeah, if they did that, that would be kind of awesome, but I don't think they're going to do that unless Venom does really well and they make a sequel. So, let's hope that Venom is done right. I'm hoping for this to be done very great. I'm hoping that if it does well, Marvel will consider bringing it into the MCU. But right now, we're just going to have to wait and see how Venom the movie stands on its own without Spider-Man. So, those were our thoughts on the Venom official trailer for the movie. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more.